Ever wondered if guys are really telling the truth about their height, weight, muscles, or even what's in their pants? Well, science says not so much. I'm Dr. Rena Malik, urologist and pelvic surgeon, and today I'm breaking down a study where men exaggerated their statistics so much that some even claimed to beat the world record for penis size. So let's start with the study where researchers recruited 224 Danish men and split them up into two groups. One group received a small payment, about $5 for participating, while the other group got a larger payment, about $22. They then asked both groups to self-report their physical attributes, meaning their height, their weight, their athleticism, and their penis size. And here's the key. They didn't just ask them to guess. They gave them rulers and instructions on how to measure. And the researchers thought that likely men would exaggerate traits linked to masculinity, and that those who got more money might be more honest. So think about it. When you're getting paid more, you might feel more obligated to be truthful. Let's see if they're right. So what did the researchers find? Men tended to exaggerate their height by about 1%, their athleticism by about 4%, and both groups were about the same. Weight was pretty accurate, but penis size, that's where the real inflation happened. Men reported an average erect penis size of 18 centimeters. That's about 7 inches. But the actual reported average for Danish men, only 15 centimeters or 6 inches. That's about a 21% exaggeration. Let me put this in perspective. Imagine if everyone exaggerated their height by 21%. A 6-foot man would claim to be over 7 feet tall. But it gets even more interesting. In the lower payment group, 7.7% of men claimed their penis was larger than the current world record of 34 centimeters or 13 inches. In the higher payment group, only about 1% made such extreme claims. So money does make men more honest, but even the higher paid group still reported sizes that were well above average. Now you might be thinking, Dr. Malik, this is just about ego, right? Wrong. This actually has real health implications. So first, when men have unrealistic expectations about normal size, it can lead to serious psychological distress. Now, I've talked about small penis anxiety before, but I see patients in my practice who are convinced they're abnormal when they're actually perfectly average or even above average. Now, this can affect relationships, self-esteem, and even lead to risky behaviors like trying drastic and unsafe things to increase penile size. Second, this research highlights what we call social desirability bias in medical studies. If men aren't honest about their penile size, what else might they be exaggerating about, either in research or to their loved ones or doctors? This could affect how men actually receive and seek medical care, and that's a big deal. And it might even affect research outcomes when we're looking at things like self-reported measurements when people are just overestimating, and that's what we're using as our benchmark of normal. As a urologist, I can tell you that the vast majority of men who worry about size are completely within the normal range, and the science would agree with me. The real average erect length is somewhere between 5 to 6 inches, not the more than 7 inches that most men believe is normal. So why do men do this? It comes down to the better than average effect. We all tend to view ourselves more positively than reality. But when it is tied to masculinity, this effect can be even more pronounced. And our culture has created impossible standards through things like pornography and everyone overinflating their penile size. Heck, even my prepubescent son tends to over-exaggerate his penile size. So here's what I want every man who's watching to understand. Your worth isn't measured in inches. Sexual satisfaction, relationship quality, and overall health have little to do with size and everything to do with communication, technique, and emotional connection. In fact, I talk all about this in my last podcast where I talk about female pleasure. Now, I've treated thousands of patients and talked to them about their sex lives ad nauseum, and I can tell you definitively that the men who are most satisfied with their sex lives aren't the ones who have the largest measurements. They're the ones who focus on overall health, on communicating openly with their partners, and having realistic expectations. Now, the money aspect of this is more than what you think. It's actually showing us that men who feel more valued, now in this case through higher compensation, are more willing to be honest. So this suggests that building genuine self-worth reduces the need to exaggerate. So what's the bottom line here? First, realize that most men over-exaggerate. So don't compare yourself to your buddy who's saying, oh my God, I'm so big, my partner can't handle it. One, because they're probably lying, and two, because they don't care enough about their partner to make sex enjoyable for them. Now, if you're struggling with body image or sexual confidence, know that one, you're not alone, and that there are people who are willing to help you. Focus on the things you can control: your health, your communication skills, and your emotional well-being. Now, if this video helped shift your perspective, hit the like button and subscribe so that you don't miss new content each and every week. And share this video with someone who might benefit or find it interesting. And as always, remember to take care of yourself because you're worth it.